Unfortunately, when people and spiritual people are talking about like, oh, light's coming into the planet and it's going to be utopia and it's going to be great. No, it's a huge mess before it gets better. Hi, thanks for being here. What we're going to talk about is what we're experiencing today. And basically what I'm going to show with some help of some of my props is a fever pitch of what you're feeling is just stuff coming to the top, and often it's been stuff that's been there the whole time. And I'm going to show you visually what everybody's going through right now. So let's get started. I'm going to do this on a world scale, a macro scale, and then a micro scale in your life. So in 2026, let's use this jar with sand, but we're going to call it dirt, okay? So if we go on a world level, the dirt and the corruption and the things that have always been going on have sort of always been at the bottom. They've tried to be covered. Governments, agencies, politicians, their job was always to keep this covered, but there's always been shenanigans going on in the background in every government. And right now we can focus on the US because that's where a lot of things are a little squirrely right now. But there's been things going on for absolute decades that were secret, and the things that are happening now haven't changed that much, including going to war for suspicious reasons. And if you do your own research and find out why, it's not always the reasons that they gave you. And if you basically follow a money trail, you can find out exactly what's been going on. My point is this. This is nothing new. There's always been corruption, but this is what's happening in 2026, like I said in my last video. A lot of energies are coming, and it can be a little bit woohoo and spiritual, but basically this is what's happening. So a lot of light and energy, good things are happening to the planet. You can look at it a lot of ways. You can look at it as a new age we're coming into, from Piscean to Aquarian. You can look at a lot of energies coming from the sun. There's a lot of positivity coming, and it's shining the light like this, okay? So people think, oh, well, this light is shining, and then we're going to go from, the current life now to more positivity and everything is going to be great. But it never happens like that in the world, and it never happens like that in your life either. What happens is all the crap comes to the surface first before it clears. So this is what we're witnessing now. This is what we're witnessing here. So I don't know if you can see. I'm going to just put my hand on the back so that you can see. So pretend it's this stuff coming to the surface, and now we're all looking at it, and it's right in your face. And you're like, oh my God, the world is getting way worse. The world is ending. It's at a fever pitch. What is going on? It's actually in some ways really good, because all the stuff that was hidden and was at the bottom, and agencies and governments would always hide it, and they were really, really good at it. You now have people in charge that are not hiding it. It's at a different level, but they're showing you the entire theater and the puppet strings. So it's now come to the surface. And what it feels like is more like this. This is what we're all feeling. What a mess. This is disgusting. Everything's coming to an end. This is the end of the world. And no, it's not. So what happens is that it comes to the top so that you can deal with it. It comes to the top so that you can make decisions. It comes to the top so that there can be more justice. For example, on that famous list, those people have been victimized for 30 years? Things have been hidden. It's nothing coming to the surface that is from today. It's nothing new from today. It's nothing new from 2026. This is decades ago. Corporate greed is coming to a fever pitch. Yes. Is it worse? Yes. But it's always been there, right? It was just hidden. And now people, young people are like, listen, I can't even live the American dream anymore. I can't buy a house. There are no jobs. But the world our parents lived in, was it really the American dream? Just think about it, okay? The fact that some systems are imploding on themselves and not making sense anymore is then opening your eyes. It's an awakening of, wait a second, that system worked for who? Who benefited from the systems? So back in the day when it was our parents, go to school, get a job, buy a house, buy a car, send your kids to school, and then your kids start that whole cycle. But then when you think about it, over years, it just got worse and worse. You're going to school to learn what to work for whom and make who rich, right? So the fact that some of those systems, you do everything that you've been told and it no longer works anymore, it gets you to question the system that you're in because it's no longer hidden. It's not clear sailing anymore. It's so murky. It's like this that you start to question everything. And all the crap is there and that you can see it. Am I saying that it's good that people are suffering and that people are being shipped away and people are being killed on the streets? Absolutely not. But it's opening your eyes to what's really happening so that we can all do something about it, right? So look at all the protests that are happening right now and using your dollars, using your power of, because they just want you to be consumers and buy everything that they're selling. But once you're aware and you can see, you can start making decisions to what makes more sense. The other thing that the light and love, what's coming in, is because you're seeing all the yuck, you're also going to start being aware of, like, why are we fighting against each other? I don't have a problem with the red side, blue side, white, black, or color of your skin, where you come from, you're Latino. Like, what does it matter? You're going to start seeing that the troubles in the world are from an education system, corporate greed, government things, systems, taxes, systems that have kept you like locked in, almost enslaved, and feeding you their news, their programming, right? Manufactured consent. And that's why you're mad and upset. They want you to turn that anger and fear against each other. Okay, let's see if I can illustrate this. It's gonna be funny, but I'm gonna try. Okay, so like I said, right now it's illuminating all of the junk, all of the poop going up to the top, okay? I'm going to put that in the glass bowl here. But what's happening as we're uniting, as you're realizing, hey, we're all in this together. Like, we all love our children. We're all created equally. We all want the same things. We all want food, shelter, unity. We want peace. We all want the same things. So this picture here is more representing the light. So first, it's got to show you all the stuff that's there and that's corrupt and not good. And then from each individual, coming from love, compassion, kindness, returning to what you really are. It's like light, a light being, who you truly are. So if you can picture that this water is illuminated with light, as each individual ignites their light and who they are, and you're kind to people and you realize that you're in it for everybody and that you treat everybody the way you want to be treated, this is what happens to the darkness and the crap, okay? As you put more and more liquid, I'm going to put this down. It's going to start to become more and more clear. So there's less and less to fight. And then eventually it all becomes clear water. So it clears. This is like plant food, so it's not coming out like normal dirt. I can't access the dirt outside because I'm in Canada and it's frozen. But you start to get the picture, right? It starts to get much, much more clear as you're putting clear things into it. So you'd have to pour a lot more than that. I'm making a huge mess. But you can see that the water starts to become more and more clear as each person is coming into love, coming into what matters. I'm going to put this down. I made a big mess. Unfortunately, when people and spiritual people are talking about, like, oh, light's coming into the planet and it's going to be utopia and it's going to be great. No, it's a huge mess before it gets better. And in the last video, what I talked about was in 2026, whatever you haven't dealt with before will intensify. And this is also in your personal life. So if anything was hidden, so there's the original jar, anything was hidden at the bottom, you're in a relationship, you've never been happy, or you didn't even possibly marry the right partner, and you've been hiding it and coping it for a long time, well, what I just described is going to happen. All of the things are going to start bubbling and coming to the top. It's not going to be pretty, and it's sort of just like right in front of you. All of the things that you can't hide if you're in the wrong career, if you were gay and tried to do a straight life, if you've had friendships that you're holding on to that are no longer aligned. Usually, instead of breaking it off and it's like really nice and clean, again, all of the crap comes to the top. So if there's a friend that's like not great, 2026 might be something where they do something and then you can really see it. A job, it could start getting a lot worse, and you can start seeing, if you were suspicious that like, I don't know about the values of this company in 2026, you actually start seeing like really not awesome things that they're doing. So this is what I'm talking about. And also what adds to the clear water is the decisions that you make and the actions that you take, and in coherence, right? So it's not just what you see outside of yourself, but it's putting more love and kindness in your thoughts to yourself and other people, your emotions, and your actions. So eventually your actions, you can't be, I'm against ICE and them taking, immigrants off the streets, but then you're cutting off people in traffic, you're yelling at your kids, and you're not being a great human yourself, right? So there's coherence you start to see in your personal life and everything around you, in your family dynamics. Coherence, thoughts, emotions, and actions. So in this huge demonstration, my fingers are all, everything is just like full of dirt, and that's what this feels like right now. It's like you're seeing the dirt, you're in the dirt, it's everywhere. You're just like, what is going on? That's how we're feeling. But that's the only way out of it, is that clear water. There's only so much you can fight crap with crap, and then you're slinging dirt of like mud pies at each other, right? Like, yes, you can absolutely protest and say this isn't right. Absolutely. But again, like I said in a previous video, you don't go to a protest and say, F Trump, F this, F that. It's more like, hey, I know that we're one. I'm not buying your lies anymore. What you do to them, you do to me. That's not right. We're standing up for love. We're standing up for unity. And we want a government that reflects us. And you're going in standing up for what you want. That's powerful. But don't forget that in your own life, how we're going to change the world is not just changing a government agency. You're not going to change the world by just getting one president impeached and then the next one comes in with a who knows what agenda, right? How we change the world is all of us igniting our lights one by one, and eventually that light, the clear water, takes out all the dirt in all of the world, everywhere. That is our true essence. That is what we're here for. And that's the times we're in the dirty muck of it. And that transition to seeing everything, to transitioning to something much more beautiful is coming. But what nobody tells you is the dirt in between. So I hope that visual was helpful. By the way, I never introduced myself. My name is Jose Lindsay. This is Heartful. This is where I bring a heart-centered approach to everything that's happening. And I hope this was helpful. I will connect a couple videos that explain in further detail in the links below the old systems and the new systems, and a much lengthier explanation of what you're feeling of going from old systems and old institutions into what we're going to now. Thank you so much. Much love. Namaste.